Good morning, everyone. This is meteorologist Shane Hinton hopping on to our platforms to give you an updated look at your forecast. The time is currently 8:09 on Friday morning. I want to make sure you can hear me before I get started, so I'm monitoring the Facebook Live comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from, and if you can hear my microphone, I'll get started in the next couple of moments. Now, the reason for this update is for the big chance for severe weather that we have rolling into central Texas later this afternoon into the evening. We have some pretty important updates to discuss. Right now on your screen, you're taking a look at the low cloud coverage and some fog that we are currently monitoring across central Texas. It's a pretty comfortable start to the day, and it might be even misleading how nice it feels and looks right now. Okay, thank you guys for the sound check. I see Barbara in Round Rock, Roxy in Austin, Sylvia in East Austin. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and get started. So right now you are taking a look at what we're going to be tracking. We are seeing some patchy morning fog that's already happening across the area, but we have that severe weather risk on the rise throughout the back half of today. I'm going to be talking about those impacts and the latest storm timeline. First, I'll start with what I'm monitoring right now. Some patchy to dense fog on the eastern half of Travis County and also in the southern section of the I-35 corridor. This will slowly lift throughout the back half of the afternoon. It's a pretty cool and comfortable start to the day in the lower 60s for most locations. But let's go ahead and take a look at that severe weather risk for today. Some big updates compared to last night. You'll now see that almost the entire KVUE viewing area now falls within that level 3 enhanced risk. This is even an update from daybreak this morning. The Storm Prediction Center now includes all of Fayette County. They had a small sliver in the slight risk earlier today. Mason, portions of Mason County, I should say, are the only areas that are not included in this level 3 out of 5 risk. Now, for perspective, we have not had a level 3 for the area in quite some time, not even this year. Austin has not even been in the enhanced risk since November 4th of last year. This extends well past San Antonio and also goes all the way up to the Dallas-Fort Worth area, so feel free to tag or share this information with any of your loved ones there as well. Our main concerns are going to be damaging wind and large hail. Isolated tornadoes also can't be ruled out at this time. Taking a look at your wind outlook for today, you can see the area shaded in pink is pretty widespread, and that's a 30% chance for some strong winds out there and damaging winds. You'll also see that hatched mark, those black slashes, showing significant wind damage is possible. Now I want to give you an updated look at the new hail outlook. This is also an update from what we were showing on daybreak earlier this morning. Now we have over 30% chance for a majority of the KVUE viewing area, and also those significant black hash marks, the slash mark, showing significant damage from hail is possible. Let's time everything out for you. You'll notice that throughout the day today, we could be dealing with a little bit of low cloud coverage for the morning. It starts to fizzle on out of here by lunchtime. In fact, it'll be fairly pleasant for lunchtime in the mid 70s in Austin, maybe even the 80s as you make your way to the hill country. Come around 4 to 5 o'clock. That's when things start to get active in the hill country. That means if you are heading out to work this morning, go ahead and make sure preparations are taken at home. No loose flying debris, the trash cans are pulled in, nothing that could get damaged by hail. Bring it all inside, in the garage, under a carport, whatever you need to do. You'll notice by around 6 o'clock in the evening, we move toward the I-35 corridor. I'm talking Williamson County, Travis, Hayes County. You need to be on alert. I know I've had a few people reach out about the Round Rock Express game. Let me tell you right now, this timeline does not look ideal for that game to be happening this evening, but obviously the timelines can change. You can see by around 7:30, it's still pushing through the I-35 corridor, including the Austin metro area, and then for the coastal plains between 9 p.m. and midnight. Now, by that point, we should hopefully have it start fizzling out a bit. We'll lose the daytime heating and all the instability in the atmosphere, but because of the fact that that enhanced risk did get expanded out towards the east a little bit more, I think there's some higher confidence that we could still see some of those stronger storms stick together. Now, there is still the potential for some of those lingering showers behind the cold front that's passing through, but the severe weather threat should be ending by midnight for central Texas. Then we'll be left with pretty windy conditions behind it. Speaking of the winds, let's talk about when they can start picking up. We're talking gusts around 25 miles per hour in Austin throughout the day today, but notice by 6:30 we could be tracking much stronger gusts. These could be pretty widespread across the area as the front passes through. Now, if you recall on that earlier slide, I was showing how we could see gusts 75 miles per hour or upwards of that. That's going to be within very strong storms. It could be some downdrafts that we're tracking. or anything along this squall line that we're going to be monitoring as the front passes through. By around 11 o'clock, those winds will have shifted from the north and northwest, bringing in drier air and really windy conditions continuing through the overnight period. On Saturday, we can expect gusts around 35 miles per hour to be possible. In fact, the National Weather Service said they can't rule out the idea of a wind advisory for some areas of central Texas. We'll monitor that for you and also update you if one of those does get issued. For today, you'll notice temperatures peak in the upper 80s to maybe even lower 90s if you're west of I-35. A little milder in the mid 80s as you make your way to the coastal plains. Overall, still a very warm day and our warmest day of the week thus far. Allergy forecast has pecan and grass in the medium categories with elm and mold on the low side. 7-day forecast shows that we'll clear up for the weekend. We will drop down into the lower 70s on Saturday along with those windy conditions, but thankfully conditions and temperatures rebound nicely by Sunday and Monday. We're talking sunshine and temperatures back in the mid 80s. It will be a very pleasant back half to your weekend, thankfully. So if you do have to choose which days you're doing your outdoor plans, both days should be dry, but I would opt for Sunday just because it's looking nicer. I'm going to pull back up this severe weather outlook for today and comb through the Facebook Live comments just to see if I'm monitoring any questions. Good morning there, John. Good morning, Sharon, Lisa. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to be posting this live stream as well, so you're able to, rewind everything. I'll also, just in case you're hopping on right now, I'm going to pull back up the Futurecast and once again slowly comb through that storm timeline for you so we can walk through it together. So once again, I'm going to do it by regions: Hill Country, I-35, and coastal plains. Hill Country residents, you need to be on alert around 4 or 5 o'clock. You'll notice the Futurecast doesn't have the storms popping up until 5. The reason I'm saying 4 and 5 is that these storms are very heavily dependent on how fast that cold front moves in. And if that cold front picks up in speed, I don't want you to be caught off guard, okay? So 4 and 5 o'clock for the Hill Country. You need to be on alert for the I-35 corridors between 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, maybe even a few rumbles of thunder lingering behind that. By 9 o'clock, you may be dealing with some lighter showers behind the front, but the severe weather threat should be winding down by 9 o'clock for the I-35 corridor, and then the focus shifts to the coastal plains between 9 and midnight. Good morning, Barbara. Hi there, Roxy. Hi there, Sarah. So yeah, it is kind of rare that we see that hatch straight line on the wind outlook. You're right. A lot of updates compared to yesterday at this time and even yesterday evening, waking up and seeing that expanded enhanced risk for the overall threat in central Texas. I also want to show you the tornado risk for today. You can see our northern counties, Burnett, Williamson, and Milam do have, and even northern Travis County, have that 5% chance for a tornado outlook. And while that's not nothing, it's minor, but it is still something. So I want to show that an isolated spin-up tornado is still all fair game, but the higher tornado threat appears to be between Austin and Dallas. Now, in regards to that flooding threat, I told you it was on the low end. That would be under any isolated heavy downpours. Thankfully, this front appears to be moving through the area very fast, or will do so later today, and our flooding threat should be minor. However, if we do have any heavy torrential downpours, that could cause some minor flooding. The National Weather Service said the highest potential for this would be near and east of I-35. Okay, you guys. Tracy saying, I guess no Cedar Park 50th birthday in the park tonight. I know a lot of people have those plans for Friday evening. We're all excited to wrap up this very active weather week in central Texas. And unfortunately, this is not how we want to go into the weekend. The only silver lining I can give you here is that some areas will get beneficial rainfall, and this front does look like it's going to move out of here so that we can enjoy our weekend. Some of the models at the beginning of the week were showing some lingering showers kind of covering into Saturday. So thankfully we're trending a little bit drier for the weekend. That's the best I can offer you at this point, unfortunately. Now, once again, as we make our way into the back half of the day, this could interact with your evening commute. This could interact with some evening plans. Please make sure you have ways to get weather alerts no matter where you're at Personally, I suggest the KVUE News app just because it's free to download and you can enable your location services. So if there is a warning in your area, you will be alerted of it. Also, if you're going to be staying at home, I would personally advise staying at home and staying out of these storms. You can stream us on air, online. Also, you can use KVUE Plus. That's even what I've been doing while I'm at home. I have that, and whenever we're streaming the radar, I can have all the watches, the warnings that we're monitoring, looping in my television in my home, and it just gives me some peace of mind, and I can always just constantly check in by just walking into a room and seeing it. Okay, so please make sure you are staying weather aware and safe as we go through the next 12 hours or so, 12 to 18 hours really for Central Texans. I will continue to monitor all the updates here. We've got Chief Meteorologist Hunter Williams, who's going to be holding things down with the meteorologist Jordan Darensburg later today as well. I will also be hopping in on KVUE Midday later this morning to have an updated look at your storm timeline and any updates from the National Weather Service. Until I see you then, I hope you have a great day. Stay safe, stay smart. Most importantly, please stay kind, and I'll see y'all again very soon.